And there I am, a little late. As soon as I got ready to start the show, the doorbell rang and it was the UPS guy to sign for something. So, but I'm here, and look at us doing a show on Wednesday, which we haven't done in a long time. Oh my God, I almost don't know how to act. Anyway, here it is. We got the usual 25 questions. Let's get started. This is a relationship advice live stream where people send in their questions in advance. So if you have a question that you want to get answered on the show, like a future show, right there on the screen, you'll see where it says Debsterism.com. Go to that website. You'll see a button that says Get Advice. Click it, fill out the form, check the box that says Free Advice. Unless you want an immediate and personal answer, then you can, do the paid option. But, you take a chance. Your letter might get picked, might not. But that's just the way it is when you get the free thing. The letters that Candace tends to pick tend to be either interesting or have, general widespread appeal. So that's how we do it around here. So let me get over here to the comments so I can see all who's up in here. Oh, I see all the usual. Hey, what's up, everybody? I see like Onyx. I haven't seen you in here in a minute. Oh, Tracy's ass is here. Let's go and do question number 1. This is a young lady in the 20 to 34 age group from Manchester in the UK. Summary of issue. Thank you, Victoria. My childhood best friend didn't pick me as a bridesmaid, and I'm very hurt. But just think how much money you get to save. You're looking at this wrong. My childhood best friend, who I've known since I was 4 years old, we're 30 now, didn't pick me to be a bridesmaid, and I'm not going to lie, I'm disappointed. We went to preschool, primary school, and high school together. We went to different universities, but still kept in touch over the years, even did an overseas trip together one year. We live about 4 hours away from each other and see each other maybe once or twice a year. We have the type of friendship where we can go ages without speaking to each other or seeing each other, but when we do catch up, it's like no time has passed. When she got engaged last year, she immediately texted me a photo of the ring, and I said how happy I was for her. Her and her partner are a truly perfect match. She also sent me a save the date shortly afterwards, and I've been very excited for her wedding. I recently received an invitation to her bachelorette party being organized by her friends from university. It was my friend, the bride, who added me to the event on Facebook. I realized from the caption that she picked this group of girls as her bridesmaids. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend the bachelorette because I will be overseas on that date, and everything was already booked by this point, but offered to do something separately with just the bride. But here's the thing, I would have changed my overseas plans if I had been asked to be a bridesmaid. Also completely understand that our friendship has changed over the years, and she's closer to this group of girls now than she is with me. They also live in the same area that she is living in, so I understand that she would pick people who are geographically closer to her. But I don't understand is why she picked these girls to be her bridesmaids over me. But still, it is a hard pill to swallow. I don't want to let this stop me from being happy for her and enjoying her wedding, though. what's the best way for me to go about managing these feelings? Well, I mean, you've said everything. You said everything that's completely logical. I mean, it's like you mentally, intellectually rather, understand exactly what's going on. You also realize that you're at that age, right around 30, like I said, where people start, making new friends. They start shedding the old and getting with new. So what's going on between the two of you is perfectly normal, a stage of passage in every woman's life. It just happens. So, you can still be friends with her, friendly. I mean, exchange Christmas cards or whatever, see each other at school reunions and whatnot. But she's gonna be she's gonna be married now. She's probably gonna be having kids and stuff. So she's gonna move on to a different phase of life than where you are, unless magically get married sometime in the next couple of years. But she'll still have a jump on you because you would have a kid or two, and you'll be playing catch up. So all in all, I don't see where. I mean, you just have to put this in perspective. Just think about it while you're on your trip, when you're missing the bridal shower thingy. See if they're going to live stream it so you can participate like that, maybe, FaceTime or something like that for a few minutes so you can, feel like you didn't really miss out on anything. And she'll see that you're happy for it and stuff like that. Offer to do something along those lines. But other than that, I mean, I feel like when you're not a bridesmaid, it's a fucking blessing. Do you realize how many thousands of dollars you get to save? You don't have to put on no events. You don't have to buy those fancy dress and shoes. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to get gifts for them and stuff. I mean, most people do get, something for the bride and groom, but then you have to get a shower gift and a wedding present, and you put on events and do all the stuff for the bride and be like her slave and all the stuff on the wedding day. It's not, you don't even understand how much there's a blessing for real. So you drive in, rather, you said it's 4 hours or something. You drive in, you attend the wedding, you have a good time, you shake your tail feather, eat some food, get back in your car and go back home. And that's the end of it for you. That's all you have to do. So I think, I understand that you're wishing that your relationship hadn't changed so much, but you can't undo what has already been, it's already happened. It already changed. You can't unchange it. Okay, so it's just time to put your big girl panties on and just accept the reality. This is what it is. But yeah, I was in a wedding one time. I said, never fucking again. Everybody who asked me, I said, no, I'm busy that day. Oh, I sure would. Hey, I would love to have done it though. Just lying my ass off. I don't want to do it. I want to be a guest. I want to roll in there, look cute, sit my happy ass down, and say, oh my God, it's so beautiful, bride is so beautiful. Sniff, sniff. And go to the wedding with reception and have a good time, flirt with all the men, eat up all the food, drink up all the champagne, and then leave. That's what I like. I don't want to be responsible for nobody. I'm telling you, it's just too much. All those events and all the stuff. Oh my God, it's just too much. Question number 2. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Black, from Columbus, Ohio. The female question is 56 to 65. Summary of issue. My mother displays a striking inability to respect boundaries and gets offended when I assert them. I've had issues with my mother for a long time, mostly around not respecting boundaries and trying to overparent me. In the case of the former, I had to remind her dozens of times to wait until I give explicit permission to walk into my room, as she would knock and enter as soon as I spoke, and on a couple of occasions just open my door without knocking. Well, why don't you have a lock on your door? You're a grown man. You should have a lock on your door. So she can't do it, but she walks in there and you change your clothes butt naked or something. That's just gross. She finally started complying, but has since made passive aggressive comments on a couple of occasions about how I, quote, walled her out in her own house. The other issue is constantly tapping me on the arm during conversation. It's annoying and uncomfortable, and I've had to remind her countless times to only tap me on the arm when I can't hear her or I'm asleep and she urgently needs me. This has been met with varying levels of indifference, irritation, and resentment, even going so far as to indignantly say, well, how about I just sit on the other end of the train so people don't think we're together? Well, that works. In other words, getting dramatic and butthurt about it. As for the overparenting, she still on occasion tries to do things for me and fight my battles, like disputing a bullshit charge from a merchant or arguing with the former boss of mine over me not getting paid my commission. Why do you tell her all of these things? You come whining to your mother. Of course, if she already treats you like you're still a baby, she's going to want to still do that and interfere in your life. What you should be doing as a grown man is shutting your fucking mouth. You'll be telling your mother everything. It's not her business. So the fact that you told her, make it her business, and then you want to complain to me about the fact that she's, trying to act like it's her business. Had you not told her, she wouldn't know. So this is on you. Let me continue with this nonsense you wrote. For a little more okay, wait a minute. I don't allow her to do these things because I feel it's wildly inappropriate as a 23-year-old man. Well, right. 23-year-old men don't go whining to their mother about their problems either. Some little bullshit problem like that. For a little more context, I'm an only child, and no wonder. Oh my God. And my parents divorced 8 years ago, and she has not had a relationship since then. So apart from when I am off at college, it's just been us living together. So my question is how to deal with a clingy, overbearing parent like this. I feel like going no contact would be excessive, but she seriously gets on my nerves sometimes. I did just accept a job on the other side of the country, which I believe will help, but I still want better strategies for dealing with the issue in the present. Well, not only that, she's going to fly out to visit you and want to stay for a week or two. So, she's going to bring that problem with her when she comes. So it's not like, this is going away forever just because you get a job on the other side of the country. But what you have to do is if she starts tapping you, move away from her. Every time she taps you, step away. See, I told you not to touch me like that. All this touching is getting on my nerves. I'm not your man. Stop touching me like that. Okay? You have to say stuff like that to her. And I know you don't want to do that because you feel like, well, that's my mama and all this old shit here. But she's not respecting the fact that you're a man, that you have bodily autonomy. You're not a child. And she has no business walking in your room like that and invading your privacy. And then, this constant touching and stuff like that. And her little butthurt comments, like, you owe her this kind of stuff. You have to get your testosterone rolling and stop talking about, well, I've told her countless times. You haven't told her not the right way. Because if you say, God damn it, mama, stop fucking touching me. I done told you, keep your hands to yourself. I'm not your man. Now you tell her like that, then she'll stop. But I know that's not what you do. Oh, it bothers me. It makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And, her busting in your room, you're going to say, one time you're going to come in here, you're going to catch me jacking off. And then what you going to do? It's inappropriate for you to bust into a grown man's room. It's not your man. We ain't a couple. So you don't have that right to do that to me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a lock on my door just to prevent you from doing that because it's fucking rude. It's intrusive and it's disrespectful. And you just act like it's no big deal. And I'm telling you it is. So these are the kind of things you should have been talking to her like that to put her in check, but you haven't done that. You haven't said those kinds of things to her that show limits and boundaries. And it's like a reality check for her about who you are now at 23. So, you rethink the way that you talk to her, put some more bass in your voice and ramp up your response to be more aggressive and straightforward. And then she'll stop. She's not respecting you because you soft talking her. Shit, I'm a woman and I would tell somebody some stuff like that. Like say I was living at home and my father busted in my room. Oh my God, well, I would light his ass up. It would be like fireworks. The fuck? It would go downhill from there. But and that would be just one time. And then I'll put a lock on my door after that first time. Because no matter if you living together, it's her house or not, the bottom line is you're living there and you have certain rights and expectations of privacy. So I don't know what you've been doing, but that's how you need to handle this. Question number 3. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Caucasian from Seattle, Washington. Summary of issue. A classmate keeps hitting on me despite knowing that I'm in a relationship. Oh, that's interesting. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to see who's over here. Oh, thank you. Everyone's saying I'm looking cute. Must be all that sleep I got. I went to bed real early. Okay, so he says basically I was flirting hard with a classmate, but it ended up going nowhere since I got into a relationship with someone else I was seeing. I immediately told her, the classmate, that I got into a relationship and stopped being so friendly with her. The problem is that she keeps trying to flirt with me despite the fact that I am not reciprocating in the slightest and have told her several times I'm in a relationship. What can I do to get her to back off? I can't completely cut contact since we're in groups together and then on the same university classes. Basically, I need to know what a friendly way is to let her know I do not want anything to do with her outside of class or related issues. Okay, so he says, he's this culture where he's raised up is very polite and all this kind of stuff. Seattle, really? Well, it must be your family then. Maybe you're some kind of European or something. We don't ask for ethnicity, so unless somebody just volunteers it, just white, black, Latin. It's like a checklist. So he checked white, I guess. So anyway, I'm gonna say this. What you have to do again, this is a young man. You guys, I really like the fact that you guys are raised to be polite and genteel and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. But there comes a time in every man's life when he is dealing with a certain type of female that he is going to have to put some bass in his voice and rise up on her ass. This is one of those times. Because what she's done since you've told her that you've been in a relationship, what she's doing now is not only disrespecting you, she's disrespecting your relationship and really herself as well. But we don't care about that. So what you're gonna do the next time you get in a group, she's gonna, you start saying, well, you guys hold up a minute because I have something I want to say to. Let's just say her name is Becky. I want to say something I want to say to Becky. Like, Becky, I've told you several times that I'm in a relationship now, yet you keep flirting with me. Notice how I'm doing this in front of a bunch of people. You keep flirting with me and pressing. It's just, I find it extremely disrespectful to me, to my relationship, and to my girl. And I want you to stop. I'm here in front of everybody like this, so everybody knows what's happening. So I have witnesses of what I said to you. I'm not touching you. I'm not cussing you. But I am telling you right now, this has to stop. If you do it again, I'm going to file a harassment charge on you with the university. So everybody's on notice. You all hear what I say. Everybody's going to go like this. And then you're going to say, okay, so that shit ends here. And you're going to say shit. And then she's going to look at you. And most likely she will get up with a red face and run out the room embarrassed, like the thought that she is. But that's how you have to do girls like that. You have to clown them in public, publicly humiliate them. Normally, that's not a strategy that I like to use, but in a situation where someone has repeatedly asked and repeatedly explained, it's not like you did it just one time and she didn't hear you or there was loud music or something and she couldn't understand. You've told her several different times and she's just choosing to ignore you. So in a situation like the kid gloves come off and you just clown her and you do it, like I said, you wait until you're in a group. There's like multiple people around. You need witnesses because you don't want her to spin the story to be something else. You need people that are going to watch, look, listen. And then they can go out and say, man, you should have heard what happened. And they'll be spreading the word. And she'll be so embarrassed, she'll never do that shit again. Never. She'll probably avoid you. Switch classes or something because she'll be too embarrassed at the way she acted. That thought behavior. Question number 4, we got 25 questions as usual. We always have 25 questions. The days we have 23, I'd be so happy. Okay, this is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's white European in the UK. The male is in the 28 to 34 age group. Summary of issue. My ex of 6 months wants to still be close friends and I'm struggling with it. My ex and I had a serious, loving 6-month relationship before he decided it didn't feel right in his heart and broke up with me. It's been about 2 months since then. Like most relationships, there are a bunch of fights. No, I'm sorry, a bunch of highs and lows. Often I didn't feel prioritized in his life over work and his close friends. It was inconsistent and stressful, which is perhaps the classic way to get obsessed with someone when they are the only way you get relief. We've debriefed our relationship a few times since then and remain in contact. I am really struggling with this closeness. I have been really sick over the last month, and he has been continuously sweet and supportive, and it's really hard for me not to read into it, even when I know for sure that he doesn't want to be in a relationship. I also do not want to be in a relationship with him, but I still love him, and it's hard to walk this line. I have to let go of the relationship or any hope for a relationship in the future, but I'm also still heartbroken at the idea of torching a good friendship. How can I navigate this and keep the friendship? Or should I prepare myself to let go of the friendship too? You don't have a friendship. I don't know what delirious drink you've been drinking. You don't have a friendship. This is a man that you used to fuck, okay? He can't be your friend. All you girls who run around here talking about You know, I'm friends with my ex. You're stupid. Okay, you're not friends with somebody that you screwed. That's your ex-lover. And it will never change. It's never going to be nothing else. And you want to drag these people into your current relationships, into your current marriages, and all kind of stuff. Women just be tripping about these raggedy men from their past. The motherfucker dumped you. Okay, he's not your friend. What the second that happened, he ceased to have any kind of relationship with you that would even remotely resemble a friendship. That's why I'm like, you're fucking delirious. So what you do is you tell him, look, we not gonna have what this whatever you've been smoking to think that we gonna have a friendship. It's not gonna happen, son. When I hang up this phone effective today, we're not gonna speak ever again. I want you to pretend like hell has frozen over and this is it. This is it's over. We're never gonna speak again. I'm gonna block you on everything. Don't you show up at my house. Don't you send me no emails. I'm gonna direct it to spam, and I'm gonna block you on all my social media. We're never going to be friends ever. I don't want you in my business like that, because that's what he's really trying to do. One of the guys will quote, "Oh, well, how are you doing? Are you seeing anyone? Oh, well, what's he like?" And it's that they're trying to keep tabs on you so that he can figure out if you still tied to him, so he can slide in there and tap that ass a time or two for old time's sake. Oh, why did we break up? I was delirious. I'm sorry. To give you that hope, or you're gonna open the door and let him into your bedroom, and then thinking it's gonna jump off, and really what's all gonna jump off is his good time. And that's so many young women fall into that trap. You cannot be friends with an ex. I don't even know how many times I have to say this. They don't fucking get it. These motherfuckers not trying to be your friend. They're just trying to figure out a way they can continue to use you and interject themselves into your lives. They're not your friends, and they never will be. Okay? Especially if they did something to try to hurt you. Now, you say you guys had highs and lows, but you didn't go into any detail. But just understand that. He ain't your friend. Never will be your friend. It's just a setup for you to get fucked over. So close the door and stop letting him fuck over you. It's just that simple. Question number 5. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. I wish a motherfucker would talk about, well, we can still be friends. No, we can't. We cannot. We never was friends. They try to save their reputation. You save your reputation with better when you fire them and just like obliterate them from your life. It opens the door for men of class and style to come through the door. You keep that garbage floating around, it's going to repel people from the funk. No decent man want to come into your life and you hanging on to trash ass motherfuckers that you already let go of, or that let go of you. What the fuck these girls be thinking? It just drives me crazy. And they think, oh, I want a boyfriend. You ain't gonna get one. That's not one that's gonna stick around. Now when you got a whole trail of sorry motherfuckers that you used to sleep with trailing around talking about these are my friends. No, this dude's gonna deuce out. Or he's gonna tap it and he's gonna deuce out. But either way, he's not gonna invest in you emotionally because you stupid. And he can tell you stupid because you let men game on you like that, talking about they my friends. I don't know what I think they just feel like they, have some semblance of companionship or something instead of just letting go. Get a new companion instead of trading, hanging on to some little shreds of some ex relationship. Just stupid. I mean, I want my exes to die. Just please die. Just go jump off something. Let Jaws eat you. Killer whales. I don't know. The Loch Ness monster. I don't care what it is. Just disappear. Go away. Question number 5. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Black from Washington, D.C. Summary of issue. Do you think women place more value on chemistry than men? Oh, this is a good question, y'all. What's your thoughts on this? Do women place more value on chemistry than men? I have to think about that. I never thought about it as in, either or. A thought I was having when I compared how my male friends versus female friends discussed their dates. If I asked one of my guy friends how a date went, they're likely to say either that she wasn't attractive or had a bad personality, or, quote, she was cute and hot and we had a good time. I want to see her again. Talking to a female friend, on the other hand, there's way more variety and depth in how they analyze their dates, and they are very likely to say he was cute and nice, had a good time, but there was no chemistry and I wasn't attracted to him. To me, it seems like for guys, as long as the girl looks good and they have good conversation, that's good enough. They will like her and want to see her again. For girls, it seems to hinge so much more on the mysterious quote chemistry that only appears with a few people. Also, notice this reading guys' accounts of dates on social media. There are so many posts like that are like, quote, I thought the date went well. We laughed, talked, had things in common. I thought she was cute. I looked just like the pic she matched with, so she must think I'm cute too. I don't understand why she doesn't want to see me again. Men often generally seem confused by this, but I feel like this is not confusing at all to most women. We all understand what it's like to have a pleasant evening with someone, enjoy their company, find them handsome, think they would make a lovely friend, etc. But just have no interest in dating them because this chemistry isn't there. That's right. Because see, men can screw a cantaloupe. I saw a movie where somebody stuck his dang-a-lang in an apple pie and was having a good old time. Okay. Women aren't like that. Okay. First of all, we have to think about pregnancy. Okay. That's always in the forefront of your mind, even when you have good birth control, because there's always that 1% that where it fails. We also have to think about, we're looking at things like is his nature violent? Is he a person who can keep commitments? Is he even capable of loving somebody? That's like you said, women have more depth than men. Men are very superficial. Don't worry about. We're not talking about that right now. That's later in the summer. That's not right now. And so we put more thought into who we're going to spend our time with, who we're going to let in our house, who we're going to let have access to our body and our stuff. Men don't think about any of that. You just think about, like you said, is she cute? Is she hot? And did we have fun? Well, that's enough for you. Very superficial, very silly ways to choose a partner. Women are looking, especially in the mid-20s and beyond, they're looking for a husband or somebody can be with long term. So there's a lot more on the table, on the scale, than if he's cute and if he's hot and if she has fun. That's teenage shit. And the fact that you're 30 years old and still thinking like that is kind of scary. Your friends rather still thinking like that. So I'm telling you that, the chemistry for women is a combination of mental, emotional, and physical attraction. All of those three things have to line up together. We have to feel safe with the man. We have to feel like it could go somewhere. We have to like his conversation and communication style. We have to like what he looks like, like what he looks like in the face and the body. We have to like the fact that he likes us. So we're looking at all kinds of things. That's why women can look at a man in 60 seconds. We know more about him than y'all do in 6 weeks of talking to a woman. We can assess, especially when you get my age, you just hear motherfucker talking. You already know where his head is and where his mind is and what kind of person he is. That's just, it's really simple. So I understand what you're thinking. You're relating it to chemistry, but I'm telling you, like chemistry, like it's just this physical thing. That's why I'm breaking it down for you. But the components of chemistry for females is multifaceted. So you could have two of them three things, and we might kick it with you a time or two, but we're not going to get emotionally invested in you. We need all three. Sometimes it turns out that the guy has all three, but there's something else wrong. Like he has, I don't know, a poor work ethic, or his family's is nutty. He got baby's kids and a crazy ex. I mean, there's other things that, might impact her willingness to be in a relationship with him. But if she had those three things and she had those lined up, then she was in a relationship with him, but that don't mean she's going to stay in it. Let me put it that way. Yep. Oh my God. I just saw what HG, let me put this on the screen because this is too funny. So his hygiene is like not on point. That is too funny. Yes. So, it can, but you have to be the kind of woman. I mean, it's kind of, she's talking about this in particular impact. That only matters to certain types of women. There's a kind of woman who, is like the sex part of the relationship is like the primary thing for her. She would get sprung like that. For women who are into, they're looking at other things and that's just a part of the relationship, they would not get sprung like that. And no matter how good he's putting it down, she's still gonna need all them other things as well. Yeah, them funky dudes, and them like teeth is growing like lab experiments. No, that wouldn't work for me. Question number 6. This is a male in the 35 to 42 age group. He's Caucasian, no location provided. Summary of issue: when should I tell women about my schizophrenia? Okay. Yeah, chiclet teeth and one every now and then. When should you tell women about your schizophrenia? Y'all vote on this. What would you think is the best time for him to tell women that he's a schizophrenic? Deb, when do you think is too early and when is too late to tell a possible partner? How do I approach the subject? Please be completely honest. Home skillet. All I can tell you is this. I dated a guy who, and we no intimacies ever happened. This was maybe a month in. I think the most we did was kiss a time or two. I don't know. I just wasn't really in a rush, and I'm so glad that I wasn't. Let me tell you what homeboy did. Okay, so there was a situation at his house where his teenage son, who was built like Barry Bonds, I mean, he didn't look like his age at all, went after his sister. The teens were at the house with the mother, and the boy went after his sister with a baseball bat. So the sister runs in her room, locks the door, and pushes the dresser in front of the door and starts, screaming for the mother. So the mother comes down, sees the boy beating on the door with the baseball bat, trying to get to the sister. She calls the daddy. The daddy was the clown that I was dating. And he didn't, he's telling me the story, and he didn't like go to the house or anything. He told the wife to call the police. I'm thinking, if you call the police in that situation, your son, because, they don't ask questions, they just start shooting. So I told him I didn't think that was a good plan, but, that's what they did. I guess it worked out okay. So they took the little boy to the 5150 place and everything. I said, well, what happened? What triggered him? And so he said, well, he's 16, and that's the age when the schizophrenia tends to kick in, he says. I said, what? Says Deborah. Okay. And so then he's like, yeah, 2 of my sisters have it. He has like 4 sisters plus with him. 2 of my sisters are schizophrenic. So then I'm looking at him. I said, okay, wait a minute. How did that gene skip you and get to your son? I don't know a lot about, that kind of stuff about how mental illness travels, but I know it's in your bloodline. Your son got it from you, and poop, I'm out. Because at the time, my daughter was young, and I could have just seen a situation where his son, instead of that being his sister, that was my kid. Well, then the police wouldn't have had to do nothing to the boy. I would have done it. It's like, you get away from that door and get away from my child, or I'm going to drop you. And then if he didn't do it, I would have shot him. And then that just would have been that. Like, I was defending my daughter. Look at him now. Look at her door destroyed. He was trying to get to her with a baseball bat. This boy that big. And plus, my daughter at the time was probably about 9, 10. She wouldn't have survived. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there, the thought bubble comes up, and I'm seeing my future with this dude. And I'm like, this ain't going to work. And so I'm telling you this story, dude, because I want you to understand. You ask somebody who has personal experience with this schizophrenic flip out. And to me, I would want to know right away. Like, this guy told me like a month in. And I don't even know, ladies. I'm telling you, it was something that was holding me back. And I don't know, it must have been that sixth sense that the picture that he's painting is not the real picture. Something was really making me hesitant. I mean, I spent a lot of time with him, but I wasn't letting myself really get close to him. And I think my spidey senses were tingling, and I didn't even know, that that's what was happening. I didn't tune into it until later. But I just was kind of, keeping him at a little distance. And yeah, so that's what happened. So I'm just telling you, sir, if you're getting with a woman who wants to have kids and stuff, she's not going to want to have them by you because that shit is genetic. And then there's also the concern, so it might be controlled on medications right now, But what happens if you get off your meds or they stop working? Are you gonna have a flip out moment, be chasing her like dude, here's Johnny in that movie where he was poking his face through the door. I can't remember the name of it right now. Jack Nicholson played that crazy part. So it's the kind of thing that most women are gonna find that terrifying and very threatening. So you're gonna have to be honest and let them know pretty, early on. And say I know I've been controlled with medication since I was blankly blank age, but I just feel like I should tell you that this is what's going on with me, so she can make an informed decision. She might just shit, you never know, she might be one to herself and be like, oh my God, I finally found my soulmate, and y'all can go over there and be schizophrenic together. You just never know. You never know. But it wouldn't work for me. The Shining. Thank you, JoJo. Yeah, as soon as I do that, I could see that face peeking through. I'm thinking, oh shit, dude would flip out, be poking his face through the door at me. I would have a cow. So you said be completely honest. That's my story to tell you how honest I am. Question number 7. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She's Asian from Los Altos, California. The male in question is 18 to 21 and he's Caucasian. Summary of issue. My boyfriend broke up with me because of his mother. What do I do? For context, we've been dating for around 4 years. Things have been, why would somebody date somebody in the 18 to 21 age group for 4 years? Why would you do that? I was like a butterfly. I wasn't trying to be like that. Okay, so let's see what we said. So we love each other a lot. However, we didn't tell our parents about the relationship at first, as we wanted to make sure we were old enough and truly ready to tell our parents about it. Recently, I told my mom, and she was approving of our relationship and ready to meet my boyfriend. Then, when it was his turn to tell his mother about me, his mother flipped out and immediately disapproved of me. His mother hasn't even met me before, but she dislikes that I'm of a different nationality than him and that I'm not religious enough. She asked him to break up with me or she would kick him out of the house and cut him off, all sorts of threats. So he broke up with me because he doesn't want to hurt his mother anymore. I have no idea what to do because I'm still young and inexperienced with this. I'm heartbroken and I can't believe the relationship is over just like that. I know it's common for parents-in-laws to disapprove of their child's partners, but this is insane. So how do I save this relationship? Is it my fault? What should I do now? I don't want to lose him. He's gone. And this, I don't want to lose him. Where do you girls get that shit from? Men are not like puppets on a shelf. They're not stuffed animals. You don't lose a man. They come and go freely of their own volition. It doesn't matter what you do. You could slap him every day and he'll stay forever, or you could do everything for him and he'd still get up and leave you. What you do and all that, it doesn't matter. It's strictly what he wants, okay? It's a little bug flying in here. So what you have to do is understand that he is still a kid. Okay, you guys in the 18 to 21 age group, so you 4 years, let's just say y'all is 21. But you're still dependent on your parents. He still lives at home. His mother still cooks his meals, probably still does his laundry and all this kind of stuff. He lives there. He's not paying rent and all this kind of stuff. He's not living independently as an adult. So he has to pretty much do what his parents says because he depends on them for his survival still, like a kid. So just like you, but you were just lucky that your mother, was okay with it, but his mother's not. She want to have little blonde-haired, blue-eyed grandchildren. She don't want no half Asian relatives. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what it is, okay? And so you have to accept it. You can't save the relationship. He's not going to do anything with you because it's going to, A, hurt his mother, and B, risk him being out on the street. So what? Unless you and your family going to take him in and feed and clothe him, are you prepared to do that? Because he would be homeless, messing around with you. He would have to choose between his mother or you. And at this age, he chose his mother. If he were older and independent, he probably would choose you, but he's not there yet. So you're going to have to just suck it up and just realize that what you had with him for 4 years is over and move on and find somebody else. And this time, don't be trying to hide your relationship. Be an adult and go and meet his people like, in the first month before you get too emotionally involved. Make sure that they're okay with it. Yeah, exactly. But it seemed like to me, once she found out his mother was a religious nutcase and a racist, that she wouldn't want to be affiliated with him anyway, because he might have some of them attitudes himself. I guess he may not, but still, if you got stayed with him, you'd have to be exposed to that crap every day, every time you went around him, especially if you guys got married. So I mean, what is I don't, because when you marry somebody, you marry their family too. It's not like it's an isolation. The family becomes your family as well. Question number 8. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Davenport, Iowa. The female in question is 18 to 21 as well. Summary of issue. My girlfriend isn't getting much engagement on her Instagram, and it's really upsetting her. Wait a minute. Wait. You wrote me, an advice columnist that deals with people that have real problems like schizophrenia and get their asses whooped, to tell me that your girlfriend is not getting engagement on Instagram and you don't know what to do about it, sir. Oh, this is how you know people don't have no real problems. It must be nice to be you. They don't have shit to worry about except what's on Instagram. Do you guys want to hear this? I know it's not a real problem. It's not even it's just some made up drama. Do you guys want to hear it? If not, I will skip it. I know Candace just put this in here just to irritate the hell out of me. I already know this. Okay, vote. I need at least 3 votes. Yes or no? Everybody just laughing. Do you want to hear this letter or not? Nobody saying yes and nobody saying no. You all just laughing. No. Okay, there's 1 vote for no. 1 vote for yes. Okay, so it's a tie. Another vote for yes. Yes for the drag. All right, let's go. So let's read it then, so you know, because you know what's coming, because I'm already irritated. Okay, we've been together for 3 months. She's 20 and I'm 21. Too old for this bullshit. I recently posted on Instagram a story of me working out at the gym, and I got a lot of positive reactions. How can you live your life based on what people, complete strangers, like on the internet? I just don't get these kids. I don't post very often, or even less workout related things. I was talking to my girlfriend about it on the phone, and I was telling her how many people said I'm getting huge because I've always been skinny. And she asked me how it made me feel, and I said it made me feel really good about myself. Well, that was your mistake right there. My girlfriend was happy for me, but she also felt annoyed. For reference, she has over 900 followers on her main IG account, and I only have 300. Whenever she posts any gym pictures on her story, maybe she gets a few likes and a good amount of views, but she's never gotten the amount of engagement that I did on my 1 post. You'd think she was getting more engagement because she has more followers, but that's not the case. My girlfriend is passionate about fitness, and recently she made a dedicated page just for fitness content. She's having trouble getting traction on it. She's not getting many new followers and barely getting any likes. I can tell it's really upsetting her because she loves making the content, but she wants people to see it. What can I tell her to make her feel better? How can I help her? You can slap the shit out of her and tell her to wake the fuck up and get into the real world, because nobody gives a shit about Instagram but you. That's what you need to tell her. It's like you're tying your self-esteem. Hey, Shay, you tying your self-esteem and your moods to something about complete strangers on the internet. Do you realize how stupid you sound right now? That's what you need to tell her. And you telling her it made you feel really good. You should have never said that. You should have just said, oh, I don't know. I don't really feel anything. Then she wouldn't be in a snit like this. But since it made you feel good, now she wants to feel good too. Both of you all are shallow vessels with some really low self-esteem that you sit around and you have to feel like you have these people paying attention to you that you don't even fucking know. And that makes you, quote, feel good. Do you realize how desperate you sound right now for attention? It is sad. This is a him, Onyx. But he's writing in about his girlfriend. So it's both of them, as far as I'm concerned. They both stupid. I'll tell you what, you tell your girlfriend if she want to post her stuff to post it, but don't do it with any expectations of people looking at it, because there's like 50 million other way more established fitness people on these social media pages, and she's just a little fly. Ain't nobody paying no attention to her. So she likes to work out and she's passionate about fitness. Big whoop-de-doo. Is she a certified personal trainer? That might help her get more views. If she has some credentials, to back her shit up. But she's just a gym rat, just showing off in her spandex. Don't nobody want to see that. Especially the girls, they're gonna be jealous. The dudes will look just because they want to see some booty, but the girls that are not in shape like her, they'll be jealous. So they're not gonna like her stuff. That's what she has to understand. If she wants to get liked, she has to pick some kind of genre that people are like. I don't know, maybe cooking fitness food or something. To help you bulk, get in shape, and lean up or something. Something that not a lot of content already. But you're just working out with some weights in the gym. Not 9 million people have pages like that up. That ain't nothing. They both do. Him for thinking that this is important enough to interrupt my nerves about, and her for being stupid and pouty because she only got so many likes on her post. Yeah. Look at me. Look at me. Y'all need to quit with this. Then, when you see stuff like this, that's how I understand why so many young people have anxiety and mental illness and low self-esteem. They're basing their life and their existence in the real world on this bullshit in this alternate reality. This is not reality on the internet. You don't know who them people are. Half the time you think it's a woman, it ain't. They did a good tuck job. And you sitting up there liking it and all this stuff, and it's not even a girl. Not really. So, there's all kind of little trickerations going on the internet. I don't trust nothing that I see on these screens. Question number 9. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. Yeah, but validation, they're looking for validation from complete strangers. And then they get upset when they don't get it. What you looking for that for? Validate your own ass. Stop it. She should be able to look in the mirror and say, yeah, take her measurements and say, oh, I gained an inch in my biceps or something. I don't know, whatever she's trying to do, whatever her goals are. She should be talking about that instead of just posting workouts. Question number 9. Okay, so she's a female 22 to 27 from Wisconsin. Term issue. Every time my partner mentions another woman to me, I get extremely insecure and anxious. Well, why is he mentioning other women to you all the time? This is kind of interesting. I know that my partner is more attractive than me, and obviously I'm okay with that. He's never given me a reason to not trust him. I've moved away and we've done long distance before, so this isn't new territory for us. What you keep moving away for? How are you going to have a relationship long distance? Recently, he's been hanging out with his coworker outside of work. They play football together, and he's told me that he enjoys her company, in the office. He's told me that they're going on a run together because in conversation he mentioned it and she wanted to join. I'm not sporty, and so I don't know if he's just happy to have someone that he can do all these things with or not. But here's the thing. I feel insecure every time he tells me he's hanging out with a girl I've never met before. I don't like how I feel when he mentions it, but I don't like that I get insecure either. At this point, every time he talks about her or other women, I just go completely quiet and try to control my emotions. I need to know how to get over this by moving your ass back with your boyfriend. Let me explain something to you. All this moving back and forth, relationships don't work well like that because people get lonely. They get antsy. They get horny. They get affection starved, and you can't do shit except talk to them on the phone or on the FaceTime or something. So they're going to get involved with local talent. Why are they going to do that? Because that person or those persons fulfill their needs for companionship, for sex, for fun, for laughter, for somebody to play footsie with and watch TV, that kind of stuff. The stuff that's the foundation of a relationship. To me, I'm telling you, I've said this since the 90s. Long distance relationships are a fantasy and a waste of time. I don't even understand why people involve themselves in it. And you have to, as if if one person moves away, the plan should be in the works for you to move with them if you want to keep the relationship. Otherwise, just break up because that's what's going to happen. As you see, he's getting closer and closer to this girl on his job, and you still wherever the hell you are. And you're not coming back no time soon. So you about to lose your boyfriend. That's what's about to happen. He going to go over there with her. Yeah, long distance relationship. It's just a fucking fantasy. I don't even know what people be thinking. Don't waste your time. It's like, it's inevitable. The human need for physical touch and companionship, you can't fulfill it thousands or hundreds of miles away. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. So just understand it and let it go. Just let him go because he's on his way out anyway. Question number 10. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's black and in the UK. Summary issue. How do I cope with feeling indebted to / obligated to my family as the eldest daughter without harboring resentful? Impossible. About a year ago, I made a very big life change and moved back to my hometown to help my single mom and my sister after my sister got pregnant her senior year of high school. Since I've been back, I've lost my car, my job, my social life has plummeted for so many reasons. I have no solitude, and of course, my coming to help has been completely thankless. What you come to help for? What was your motivation to do that? Why did you worry about your single mom with a daughter that's old enough to screw and get herself pregnant without using birth control and have a baby without getting a termination? Why did you feel like this was your responsibility to run home and help try to save them? You're supposed to let them crash and burn and let her figure out that she can't afford a baby and put the baby up for adoption. That's what you were supposed to do. And they ask you for money, say, I don't have none. Well, can you come visit? Nope, I can't afford it. That's all you had to do. Why didn't you write me before you made this stupid ass decision and tell me, well, this is what's going on. What should I do? Then I would have told you and you wouldn't be having these problems. Okay, you made a dumbass choice. My mom sees herself as doing me a favor by allowing me to move back into the house and room I grew up in, and obviously resents me for existing and, quote, ruining her life / blocking her opportunities because she had me. Well, nobody told her to lay up there and fucking make a baby. And that's exactly what I would have told her. No, I didn't ruin nothing. You ruined it yourself. You should have kept your legs closed. You wouldn't be having that problem. See, this is what you have to say. When you get somebody talking to you like you a bitch, you talk to her like one. And that's exactly what I would have said to her. Y'all think I'm kidding? I wish my mother would. I would have told her. She also holds me responsible for the poor decisions my sister makes, or simply just won't hold her accountable at all. No, that was your child. You laid up there and birthed that little silly hoe. You don't see me with no babies. But she has one, and guess what? She's a chip off the old block, just like you. Two useless baby-making hoes. As you can tell, I have no sympathy for either one of them, and I would definitely not have made the choice that you made. I wouldn't give a fuck if they was living in a pup tit in the park. That's a decision that y'all made. Where that baby daddy at? Why ain't you living with him and get some money from him? It's not my responsibility to care for a baby that I didn't lay up there and make. And that's what I would have told her and hung up my phone and changed my phone number. She may have, but she may have just volunteered it, feeling like she's obligated because she's the oldest. That's the way the letter started off. So it doesn't really sound like guilt tripping. It sounds like she felt like she was the oldest and she's going to jump in and save everybody. Because I doubt her letter would have started. She would have, said that. But instead, she started talking about, being the oldest and, this, that. So her mind is in a different place than guilt tripping. She says, my mom and I have never had a good relationship, but living together isn't making it better. And I can no longer attempt to mentor / support my sister. The time for that was before she laid up and made a baby. It's too late now. I want to move on from them and treat them like strangers. But it makes me sick to my stomach knowing that I pretty much hate them and can't even leave. Why not? I'm only 27 years old, and even though my relationship with them weren't great before I moved back, we're definitely worse off now. I am not in a position to leave anytime soon, so how do I navigate being with family members that I can't confidently say I love, who blame me for everything, thank me for nothing, and simply don't respect me whilst simultaneously expecting money and support from me? Well, people in hell expect to get ice water too, but do they get it? You made a stupid decision. You put yourself in this situation. I don't know what you thought you was going to get, like they was going to be bowing down at your feet and thinking, oh, big sister, you saved us. You saved us. Is that what you was expecting to get? You said your mother and you never had a good relationship. So why the fuck would you put yourself back in a situation with a woman that you never had a good relationship with and a sister who's too stupid to use birth control? Why would you do that? I mean, I know that's not the answer you want to hear, but it's the answer that you need to hear because you need to stop making stupid choices. You're too old for this. You're 27. Get your shit together. Start thinking about saving yourself. You investigate some kind of job where you can get, do you know how to be a nanny? Because you could be a nanny, move in and you live, they give you room and board. Okay. You can do that and you can live there and watch the little kids and stuff till you get back on, save money and get back on your feet. You never know, worked out for Tiger Woods. Little chick, that nanny person, she married her and she cleaned his ass out and she got millions now. I'm just saying, there are options. Start investigating some live-in types of jobs that you can do in locations far away from there. And I'm thinking, the nanny thing, can you cook? If you can cook, that's another added bonus. You can clean up and you do all this stuff. This is temporary. This is just to get you out of that situation into something where you can restabilize and start getting your money back up. So then you can move out, get you a regular job and do all this other stuff. But you should plan to nanny for about 2 years. In the meantime, like I said, you'll have room and board and you'll be away from them. So look into that. They have agencies that you can sign up for. Some of them even offer training classes and stuff like that. And then they'll, book you with the family. Think about it. Look into it. Look into those programs where you, if you have a college degree, they have programs where they send you to another country to teach English. You don't even have to know the other language. You just have to know English well. Look into that as well. Get your ass up out of here and do something with yourself. Just pissing me off. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. No location provided. Summary of issue. My friend is being forced to interact with a creepy guy at work. How do you suggest she deal with this safely and successfully? My friend is unfortunately trapped right now with a work colleague who is, to keep this short, not getting the message, obnoxious behavior, including but not limited to reading over her shoulder, her personal IMs, and asserting himself into her conversations, as well as a general lack of personal space. Personally, I think all men start off creepy when they're younger and either sink or swim, and this fella sank right to the bottom. She's already suggested that he's made her uncomfortable. Suggested. Did y'all catch that word? And uncomfortable again. And she would request assistance, but he missed that message, and being obnoxious, that just exacerbates the issue. She is part of a training course that's thankfully ending in about a week. However, it is a large unsupervised campus, and he's part of her class group, which is why the issue exists. Any advice on how she should handle this? We are both 25 and the guy is 26. Thank you in advance, Deb. Yeah, okay, so let's circle back to this. A creepy guy at work. Work always has managers. Managers know the law about harassment, sexual harassment, and harassment in general. Why did she not report this? That he's intruding on her personal space and he makes her feel sexually harassed or cornered or whatever she's feeling. She has to name the behavior. I keep saying this. You girls and this uncomfortable, that don't mean shit. It means nothing. Name the behavior specifically. He reads over my shoulder in my personal messages. It's very intrusive. I've asked him to stop numerous times. He continues to do it anyway. He intrudes in my personal space. He puts himself way too close to me physically, where it's like he's trying to touch me on the slide. I don't like it. I've asked him repeatedly not to do this, and he does it anyway. All the stuff that you said that he does, interrupting her conversations, when he's not part of them and stuff like that, that's rude, but it's not necessarily sexual harassment, but it's rude. And stuff like that, so that he can get talked to and told to stop. But you telling me on her behalf, what is she doing for herself? She has to advocate for herself. If she's not doing anything and she ain't telling nobody in a position of power that can make a change, then that means, like I said, if you're not saying nothing to stop the shit, then that means you like it. You just want something to complain about. And people are like, oh, that's so rude. You shouldn't say that. Well, what the fuck you want me to say? If you ain't doing shit to change what you spurring a problem, you're just sitting there like a little mouse just taking it, then that must mean you like it. That's the way I'm going to look at it. Because you ain't doing shit to make it different. So you like it. So you tell your friend I said that to get off her ass and report the guy, and stop saying uncomfortable and suggesting. You don't suggest to motherfuckers like this. You get his face and say, back the fuck up. I don't want to feel your breath, stinky, funky breath on me. You standing too close to me. Back the fuck up. I want you to stay at least 3 feet away from me at all times. Stuff like that. You know, you have to talk to them like that and give them specific instructions and commands. And if you don't do that and you just say, well, I suggested that I'm uncomfortable, what? I don't even know what the fuck that means. And since I don't know, he won't either. And you trying to say that he's just, acting like he doesn't understand. He probably doesn't because she hasn't really said anything. Question number 12. This is the wait a minute, y'all. This drives me crazy. It is, but he hasn't touched her. See what he's doing, he's got his toe on the line. Think about the law, DP, of what is sexual harassment. Has he said anything? Has he made any gestures? Has he posted any comments? Has he sent her any emails? Has he used any sexual language? Has he touched her body in any kind of physical way? It doesn't sound like he's touched her at all. He's just making her uncomfortable with his presence. Now, what is that though? It's bothersome. Is it something that he could be talked about? Absolutely. But does that meet the legal standard of sexual harassment? And the answer to that question is no, it doesn't. So it's not a lawsuit waiting to happen. What it is, though, is she needs to find her voice and speak up to defend herself. And this is a situation with most young girls. They don't say nothing. They just sit there with that, oh, I'm scared, or oh, I don't know what to do, or I don't know what to say. Open your goddamn mouth. You know how you feel. You be complaining about everything else and talking about social media and not getting likes and stuff. You can talk about that kind of bullshit, but you can't talk to somebody who's like in your face, in your personal space, who's reading over your shoulder and harassing you. Say, back the fuck up. I don't want you reading my messages. This is some personal shit. Get out of here. Stuff like that. And you feel like, well, that would just exacerbate the situation. You don't know that. You just find an excuse to monger in your fear. No woman ever does well when she lets fear take over her life. You don't be afraid of shit. You ride out and you ride hard on these men. You don't let, and these bitches too, you don't let them get away with shit. You tell them about themselves and you put your boundaries in place and then you uphold your boundaries at all times. She's not doing any of that. Okay? Oh, this is, I'm telling you, because I know me. I've gotten past the point where, like when I was young and the dude said the thing about my boobs and I hauled off and punched the fuck out of him in the trading room. Okay, well, I was 20 years old. What did I know? I was still in that little hood rat mode. But since I've learned to fight with, big words and lawsuits, if it's appropriate. But yeah, I punched him. Exactly. Exactly, JoJo. And that's what it is. And there won't be any evidence to the contrary. Right? Because you ain't said shit. So that's why I always speak up. People don't like it. I've gotten talked to about my language in the office before, calling people stupid and trifling and saying they don't know what the hell they doing and stuff like that. And they say, oh, you can't talk about people like that. You can't say that, the person is, their work is sloppy. I'm like, why? It is. No matter what you look in the thesaurus and, you look under sloppy and you find, all the little punch, nice little words in there and stuff, but they all mean the same thing. So the fact that I went down that list and chose sloppy, that's not wrong. Well, it indicates, you're maligning them. I said, no, I'm telling the truth. Because would this work be in this state that it's in all fucked up? This is not the word I said, but basically that's it. Would it be in this state if it wasn't sloppy? And then they look, the managers be looking because they're like, well, but you could have just used a different word. Okay, whatever. I'm just saying, it's very important that young ladies speak up. So parents, if you big sisters, aunties, teach your daughters to open their goddamn mouths and speak up and defend themselves. Tell people what to do to back up off of them and stuff like that. And in that word nice, don't you ever use that word. Don't you ever tell a little girl to be nice. You tell her to be a fucking savage because that's what she's going to need to survive in this current world. That nice shit went out in like 1712. Okay, we in 2024 and the world is all kinds of fucked up. It's a dangerous place for children and it's a dangerous place for young women, and they need to know how to speak up and defend themselves and assert their rights. And if you as a parent, if you're not teaching your daughter that and you still teach them that nice shit, you are setting your daughter up to be a victim. I just want you to know. Question number 12. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Caucasian from Pensacola, Florida. Summary of issue. My boyfriend called me a 4 out of 10. Ooh. A 4 out of 10. And you still call him your boyfriend? She says, am I wrong for crying? Since dating my boyfriend, he kept making side comments. I think she means snide comments about my appearance here and there. Then he compliments his ex every now and then. He says she is pretty, or ended up talking about how he fell for her ass. Wow. And you sat there and listened? One day I asked him to stop because it was making me self-conscious. No, you're supposed to tell him to stop because he's acting like a fucking asshole. Not because of what it's making you, what is making him look like you just so desperate for some attention. You're going to sit up there and talk about some other broad? Guess what? She left your ass. Why are you still talking about her? She don't want you. You just need to remind him of that. So he's never complimented me until I made a comment about it. It's been about 4 months, and I told him I don't have a good feeling about him and his ex, and that he makes it seem like he likes her more than me. He finally told me that she is more attractive than me and that I am a 4 out of 10 to him. I even asked how he thought about me compared to his friends' girlfriends. What you ask that shit for? And he says they are more attractive than me. He tells me that his ex beauty means nothing to him. Then he turns around and still tries to call me beautiful after telling me I was below average in looks. I'm okay without being everyone's cup of tea, but my own boyfriend? Now I'm always looking in the mirror, questioning myself. Every time we go out, I think about how he thinks all the girls are prettier than me. I don't think I'm ugly, and I'm also not super attractive, but damn, I thought I'd at least get a 5 from my own boyfriend. What do I do, Deb? Do I leave because now I'm too insecure to be with him? Am I wrong? Would you date someone who thinks you are below average look-wise? No, the difference between you and me is this. Okay, let me go back to your beginning of your letter. He kept making snide comments about my appearance here and there. We would have broke up then. See, this is the boundaries that you young girls don't have. There's no way in this world you should have continued dating a man who talked to you like this. Where is your pride and self-esteem and your boundaries? You don't seem to have any. You don't let some man talk to you like you got a tail and paws. You don't do that. The very second that he started talking about his ex and say, well, go over there with that bitch then, because I'm cutting your ass loose effective right now. So you whatever we had going here, this is just over. So, bye, block, don't call me. I'm about to go on my phone and block you right in his face. And then get my purse and get my Uber if he drove me there, or get my car and drive the fuck off. I did that one time with a boyfriend when I was going to University of Houston. We went to this restaurant and we was in my car. And I forgot what he did, but whatever it was he said, I felt like it was disrespectful and I didn't like it. So, and I've been doing that for, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks or so, maybe something like that, for a minute for a college student, that was a little bit. I said, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I jumped my purse, get my purse, and they had the back door over there. So you go through the back door, you go through the restaurant, and you know how they have the door to the kitchen, and then they have a door where you turn, there's a hallway and there's a restroom. I went through the kitchen. I said, where's the exit? He's like, oh, but we don't let people through. I said, I need to get out of here. That guy over there is scaring me. And I need to, so then when I put it that way, they're like, oh my God, okay. So, so they got me out. I went around the corner, got in my car and drove the fuck off. Got in my car, went home. So then he was still sitting there. So I told the guys, wait until, he starts asking about me, then tell him that I left. And so they were like, oh, okay. So that's what happened. He called a couple of times. I didn't answer. And that was the end of that. So that's how, what I'm saying is, if you have very strong boundaries about what you will and will not take, how you not going to let somebody talk to you. You're not going to let them emotionally abuse you. You're not going to let them verbally abuse you. You're not going to take it. I'm not taking that shit not one time. You get the one time, what I think, because I can't stop you. You get one time. But by the time that shit leaves your mouth, whatever it was that we had going on is over. It's up in smoke. You done blew it. Yes, that was real life. I'll never forget that because I called my daddy and told him what I did. He was rolling. No, you did. You just left that motherfucker sitting there. I said, I sure did. He might still be sitting there for all I know. He was like, the guy used to get a big kick out of me. But yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I want you to value yourself more. Okay, you running around talking about, well, I feel bad and questioning yourself and doing. I said, you shouldn't be doing any of that. What you should have done is dumped him the second he told you that shit. And he kept upping the ante, talking about other women and, talking about, 4 out of 10 and her ass and stuff. And you're sitting there listening to that. There's no way in this world that you should have been doing that to yourself, letting him do that to you. Little girl. He might still be sitting there, girl, for all I know. That was a long time ago. That was the late 80s. So he could still be sitting there. But I didn't care. All I know is, no, we're not even gonna go down this path because that's when I was still young and stupid. So I would have likely stood up and cussed him out right in the restaurant. And I was trying to like change my ways. Because you're getting ready to graduate and going to the real world, get a job and stuff and be all shiny suited up and going, clocking in at 9 and working out till 5 and stuff. I'm trying to prepare for that world. I'm like, I got to tone my stuff down. I got to stop being so ratchet. And so that's what I had to do. Yeah. So please think about what I'm saying. Replay this part of this video several times until you understand the feeling. When you're with a man, you should be building you up, not tearing you down. If he can't manage to do that, then he doesn't deserve to be with you. Okay? Protect yourself like that. Question number 13. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Reading in the UK. The male is 22 to 27 group. Summary of issue. My partner called me retarded. Wait a minute. What did I do? So we went to a 4 out of 10 to retarded. Okay. My partner and I were talking about a local singer who was K'd by her ex-partner, and he mentioned that she got what she deserved because she was a garden tool. She put that in quotes. Wow, he said that? And you still call him your partner? I told him it was not okay what he said, and that it was disgusting that he justifies the murder of a woman whenever her behavior was. He then got annoyed and said that he was not making excuses and called me retarded. I asked him, quote, what am I? Again, because I hoped I'd heard wrong. And he just answered retarded and took the phone and was on it for about 15 minutes while I sat and looked around. We were in a cafe. I felt so humiliated that everyone was looking at us. He was using his phone and ignoring me while I was sitting there alone. And you kept sitting there though. Then I said, well, let's go home. He just got up and went to the car and drove like crazy the whole way. And I was terrified. After he drove me home, I told him before I left to never speak to me again. Good job. The next morning, he sent me a message. Okay, so you didn't block him. So you were just selling wolf tickets. You wasn't really serious about him never talking to you again because otherwise you would have blocked him. Have you come to your senses? Can you talk normally now? And I wrote that I can't and I don't want to. Later, he wrote to me that he was sorry. And when I said that I don't want to talk, he wrote that he was a good man who wanted to talk, which made me sick because he sounded like some narcissistic fool. Was I wrong to refuse to talk to him? Nope. Can such behavior be justified? And no, not in this world. Unfortunately, don't get mad. It is not the first time that he humiliated me in public and diminished my feelings. Well, I'm going to get mad after what I just said to the other girl about accepting this kind of bullshit. So of course I'm going to get mad. But he has never called me an ugly name. He would only say something indirectly. What should I do? Should I stand by my decision and leave him? Please help me come to my senses. Ha ha. This shit's not funny. Okay, you with a dude who thinks because well, you don't really know why. She was, her life was ended by her ex-partner, and he says that she got what she deserved because she was a quote garden tool. How does he know that? What she was, and no matter what she was, it was her ex-partner, then that means they were broken up. So I'm not understanding his logic. Not that I should try to, but I'm just saying the words themselves that he chose to use in the situation don't even make any sense. And then you're in this cafe and you're sitting there with this man who feels like it's okay for a woman's life to be ended because she allegedly hurt some man's feelings or she behaved in a way that he didn't like. That sounds more like the reality. She did something that he didn't like or didn't want her to do. She did it anyway because she was single. He was her ex, And he didn't like it, so then he gonna find her and end her life. That's essentially what your boyfriend was saying, and that the dude was justified for doing that. You, madam, were supposed to get on your phone, say, "Oh, let me run to the bathroom," and while you in their bathroom, you call yourself an Uber, and then you or your parents or somebody, one of your friends, somebody whoever's around, and say, "Come and get me a taxi." I don't care what it is. You leave his ass there, and you go somewhere and find somebody with some sense. A man with that kind of mentality is abusive. A man like that, there's no future with, because as soon as you piss him off or do something that he doesn't like, he's going to feel like he would be justified to do the same thing to you. Do you connect these dots? Do you not connect these dots? So yeah, you're going to break up with him, and you're going to block him this time, and you're never going to deal with him again. He's an idiot, and he's violent. Yeah, they're talking about never speak to me again, and then as soon as he texts and she's responding. That's why I said she didn't mean it. Because otherwise she would have blocked him as soon as she got in the house. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Latina. The male is 22 to 27, and he's black. Summary of issue. My ex was active on dating apps rather, 2 days after he dumped me out of nowhere. My ex broke up with me about a week ago, and completely unexpectedly over the phone. We had a long-distance relationship, but we're together for a year and a half. We lived together for 6 months of that and had plans in the next few months to live together again. But he broke up with me out of nowhere with no explanation and no reasoning. He just kept saying, I don't know on the phone. Also, important to note that we'd been on a last-minute holiday together days before this and had the best time, saying how in love we are, how happy we are, can't wait for the future, etc. Then I found out last Thursday that he had joined a swipey thing and has been active on there since, messaging tons of girls and liking their photos less than 48 hours later. It makes me sick to my stomach. I can't understand how you can do that for someone so soon. After being fine and in love, a bunch of question marks, I find it hard to process the shock, the hurt, the heartbreak, and overall just disgust in him as a human being, and feeling like the whole past 18 months was just a huge lie. Any advice on how to move past this and stop asking myself thousands of questions would be massively appreciated. Well, like I said earlier, long-distance relationships never work. They never work. I don't know what you girls would be trying to do. The dudes get horny. They get lonely. They find somebody locally. So either you get cheated on, which or they leave you altogether. Those are the only two things that are going to happen at your age in a long-distance relationship. Even with older couples, married couples, it still happens. So I don't know what it is you expect from a mere boyfriend. I told you, boyfriend don't mean shit anyway. All a boyfriend is the motherfucker that you fucking right now. That's all it is. It's nothing special. They don't owe you shit. You don't have no legal rights, no legal claims. They're not tied to you by the law or any other kind of spiritual way, nothing. It's just the person that you're choosing to screw for the present time. That's a boyfriend. That's a girlfriend. Okay? That's it. And that's all. Now, know all this other stuff. Y'all want to try to make it seem like it's this, well, I'm his girlfriend. This and that, blah, blah, blah. And you act like it means something as you see it don't mean shit. It's over like that. So all I'll tell you is, don't do this anymore. You're not going to get involved in no long-distance relationships ever again. And then B, understand that if a man says, I don't know, it just means he doesn't want to tell you. He met somebody else, or he wants to meet somebody else, or he's just tired of being on a long-distance relationship talking to you over the phone and on FaceTime when he can't touch you. He can't, feel you. He can't cuddle with you. There's all those elements of the relationship are missing, but y'all want to hang on to this fantasy that you still have a relationship. It don't work like that with men, okay? So if you have something that want to be trying to have a long-distance relationship, just say no. I already know it's not going to work, so let's not even go down that path, okay? That's what you need to do. Yes, it's too hot. This is going to be my hairdo for the summer. Every summer I put it up off my neck because it's just too hot. Okay, wait. Sunday, it was so cold, huh, DP? It was cold. It was raining. The wind was out. It was insane. I went out to have lunch with some friends. I had on like a coat. I had like layers of coat. I had like a jacket with a sweatshirt under it and a T-shirt and an undershirt. And then I had on some jeans. I had put these like liner things on underneath them and my winter boots, the little cute boots. Look like hiking boots, but they're like street boots. I had all that on and a hat on my head. Okay, I'm sitting because they like to sit outside by the fire pit and stuff. It was so hot, and now today it's like 80. Bipolar ass weather. This is crazy. All right, so let's move on. So she mad because he's on the dating site. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out why you think what he's supposed to have like a mourning period or something. The one who does the breaking up has already mourned. They was doing that while you were still in a relationship. The one who gets broadside is the one your mourning starts that day. But the person who does the breakup, they've already been thinking about this for a while. So yeah, they ready. They ready to move on and do something different. So that's why you're shocked because you feel like he should be on the same morning clock as you, and it's not. That's not how it works. You start your morning clock the day he broke up. He been through that process. He's on about his business, looking for his next victim. Question number 14. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group out of London. Term issue: why are quote good men unwanted? I've tried to talk about this with other people in the past, and these were the types of responses I got. Colon. Quote, women don't have to like a guy just because he's good to her, end quote. Quote, good guys aren't actually good. They switch up eventually, end quote. Quote, good guys are just weak men that doesn't make them good, end quote. If we grant these responses, explain to me then why there are so many generally trash men attracting women with ease if the quote good men are either pretending or doing the bare minimum because they're ugly. They have no sex appeal. That's why. Let me just do it. And they can't fuck. Let me just put it bluntly. Because, you men try to come with this stuff where you talk about, well, he's a nice guy. Why doesn't he have a relationship? Most of them are like 60-second men if they last that long. Their stroke game is weak. They don't have no conversation. Their bodies ain't on hit. They don't be looking like nothing in the face. But all they have to offer is nice. And I have a job in a car, my own place. And they feel like, because of that, some woman owes them something, that they should be able to get a Beyonce level 11 woman because they are, quote, they label themselves as a, quote, nice guy. I'm telling you flatly, that is always one of those. A lot of times, they present themselves as nice, but they're really like emotionally or verbally abusive. It's hidden though. They don't show it to their male buddies. They don't show it to their family. They let it out on women that they're dating. Or, like I said, they be mugged, or they have that Pillsbury Doughboy popping fresh type of body, or their stroke game is whack. It's always one of those. But they want to run around and talk about how they're such a nice guy, but no woman wants them. No, she don't want somebody who lasts 33 seconds in bed. Who wants that? Who wants a man when you roll over in the morning and you look at him, you scream because you think, oh shit, am I still in my nightmare? This look like a little monster laying next to me. No woman wants a man whose body is like a marshmallow. Okay, fat, sweaty, gross. We're not interested in that. So, I'm just being blunt since you asked the question and you trying to act like, that the trash men get women. Anybody can get a woman. There's all kinds of women, as you see that write this advice column, all different levels of mentality, damage, PTSD, all kind of stuff is going on with these chicks. If you a fucked up dude, you can find a girl. That's not a problem. But is it going to be a woman of quality or just going to be somebody just, a woman? It's just going to be a woman. You're not going to get a woman of quality with boundaries and high expectations and high self-esteem because she's going to pass you by because you don't make it happen for her. And that's what men have to accept. And he says, oh, wait, I skipped some of his letter. He says, many men see women fawning over, quote, bad men and now believe that they have to mimic those men in order to attract women. You've heard it all before. Nice guys finish last. Girls prefer bad boys. You attract more women if you treat them badly. However, these statements don't seem to be false. I have personal experience with being on the bad guy and all this, and I can't say that I've had many issues attracting women. And before any of your listeners go crazy, I'm not the good guy here. I'm closer to the trash dude. However, I do a lot better with women than my male colleagues, even though they treat other people far better than I do. I wrote in to ask why, quote, good men like them can be so unsuccessful with women, while I can seemingly do whatever I want and still do well with women. The problem with you young dudes is you rate yourself by desirability and your worth by how much pussy you get. Don't you think? See, this is why I say men are stupid. You should be at this stage of your life, you should be building your wealth and laying down a foundation so you be about something when you hit your 30s. Instead, you worried about how much coochie you getting and why you get more than your friends and all this kind of stuff. Who cares? Can you take that to the bank? Is that going to buy you something in your old age? Is that going to make you a stable person? Y'all, you be thinking with your wiener instead of with your brain. And that's why you get in trouble. You get hooked up with some trashy broad. Yeah, you get a woman, and then she gets pregnant, and then you on the hook for 18 years of child support for on a woman that you didn't even really want. You just dealt with her because she made herself available. Because you're not selective because you trash, and you know you trash. This is just these letters tonight are getting on my nerves. Well, the girls, yeah, the girls go for because like I said, all women go through that phase where they mess with somebody that you know that you shouldn't mess with. It's just a phase we go through. We all have to. The problem is the women who stay in that phase. They don't never come out of it. I had one little rodeo, and that was enough for me. He checked all the boxes my daddy said don't do. I said, but I have to do it. I have to do it one time. I just want to see. And that was it. That was enough for me. I was cured. Okay. I saw the light. Oh, I didn't want no more. I'm good. I went back to my little Poindexter dudes, and I've been fine ever since. But one thing they can do, one thing them do, usually they be putting it down in the sheets. Why? Because they have so much practice, and they know that for a lot of women, that's how you can get them. And so their stroke game be just like magnificent because they be trying to get you sprung. It's the kind of stuff where you be laying there trying to figure out how you can buy a breath, trying to, just delirious and shit. But does that mean that that's somebody that you should want to be with in a relationship and marry? Nope. You're supposed to get up and be like, wow, that was fabulous. I'll call you next week. That's what you're supposed to do. But yeah, you got it twisted, dude. Your focus is all wrong, and you worried about the wrong stuff. But I'm telling you, that's how women view most of the dudes that they go around and talk about themselves as being quote nice guys. They ain't shit. Not really. They just bad in other ways where you more overt with your trash. Their trash is undercover, but all y'all is about the same. Question number 15. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group. Female 22 to 27. Summary of issue. I was ghosted after a great first date. I went on a first date with a really cool girl on Friday for some casual drinks. I am 28 and she is 25. We spent most of the evening together, chatting about life and general first date questions. We laughed and got on well. At the end of the date, we both expressed how we'd like to see each other again and how we had a great time. I didn't speak with her for a few days due to a busy weekend, and she didn't message me in that time either. I messaged her last night and never got a response. She's been online, so no doubt she's seen my message. I'm a little bummed out as we had a great time together and attraction was high and we got on well. Any tips for me? Yes. Next time, if you are feeling a woman and you want to see her again, don't wait. Don't let the weekend pass and then think that you're just going to pick up where you left off. It don't work like that. You're supposed to strike while the iron is hot. And no matter how busy your fucking ass was, you had 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds to send her a text and say, hey, I was thinking about you. How's your weekend going? And she would have said this, I can't, I'm looking forward to getting together with you. I'm over here with my, relatives. I'm here with my grandma, with something like that. And say, but I'm going to reach out to you on Monday when I'm back in town. That's all you had to do. And you would have saved this. But see, she feels like you just lied and said, you want to get together because you didn't have no follow through. You didn't text her when you got home to say anything. You didn't text her the next day to say anything. You didn't call her. As in you expect her, now you're talking about you bummed. You did that to yourself, trying to be all like you so cool or some shit. I don't know what the hell you was doing. So that in the future, don't do that. Okay, follow up right away. Don't leave a girl 2 or 3 days with no contact after you said you had such a great time. You confused her. You made her feel like you just lied and was playing a game, and so she's done because she's like she don't want to get caught up in your bullshit. So just block her number and forget it. You fucked that one up. That's over. That one is over. Yeah, that is Chinoa. But that is all they have, but they have a lot of it. They used to be having like 3 or 4 women, where the other dudes can't get one. Question number 16. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group. He's Caucasian from Boulder, Colorado. Well, none of other people didn't put theirs. It's optional, y'all. All they have to put is gender and age. All that other stuff is optional. I guess some people don't put it. So I have issue. My girlfriend lied about her past. Oh. We've been dating 31 me and 29 her for a few months now. When we started dating, she told me she hadn't slept with anyone for 2 years and told me the same a few times throughout our relationship so far. But yesterday, she called me during the day and told me that she got tested positive for a minor STD and asked if I was the one who gave it to her. Luckily, I got tested immediately before she and I started dating and gave her my results. As the table has turned, she told me that there was another guy that she had a quote fling with about a year ago and told me that she might have gotten it from him. And she didn't take her ass to the doctor to get checked out after that ended. Irresponsible. Let me tell y'all, you listening. Before you sleep with somebody new, you get tested. And after you end with somebody old, you get tested so that you clean before you go with the new person. But make sure that you do that. You should never be just so sleeping around to the point that you don't take your happy ass to the doctor between partners to make sure it ain't shit growing in you. Okay, that's just nasty, young ladies and you dudes. Take your happy ass to the doctor, to at least to the free clinic. Do something with yourself. That's just gross. These young people, do these parents not tell them this kind of stuff? You're going to be sexually active. You have to be responsible. Okay, you don't just dip and dab and jump all around in different people's beds and you don't take your ass to the doctor and get checkups. Every single partner. Little nasty asses. You're supposed to go annually, but if you changing partners, you should go more frequently. Okay, say you dated somebody for 3 or 4 months and that ended, go to the doctor. You doing the dating stuff and stuff, you got a new partner and stuff. You got your results. You know you clean because you ain't touched nobody else. You got the little paper. Okay, so then y'all do something that ends, you go to the doctor again. So then if you know that you got something magically that you didn't have before, you know who gave it to you. If you never go to the doctor but once a year and you swear to changing partners, you won't know who you gave some shit to, who gave it to you, or how long you had it. You won't know nothing with your little nasty ass. Carrying around diseases and shit. That's just gross. Ugh. Okay, I'm seeing that these mothers are not properly educating their daughters about their bodies and hygiene and important issues like that. Okay, so then he says she had this fling for years. I asked her why she lied, and she said the first time she told me that she hadn't had nook for 2 years, she said she didn't really remember the fling since it was brief. Then later, when she told me the same lie a few more times, she lied because we had good things going on and she didn't want to ruin it by correcting herself. I asked her more about the fling, and it turned out that they had dated for about 4 months, and he helped her even move to a new city, the one that she's living in, which makes me wonder if this really is a forgettable fling or she's just trying to deflect the situation. I feel that trust is breached, although it may seem a small lie, but a lie is a lie. We've had good things going on really on other fronts. Time flies when we're together and we make each other laugh and feel comfortable around each other. But I do not, oh, I think he says, but I do know that she has a habit of not telling everything fully and tends to be very private with information sharing, not just with friends, but even with me, her partner. What would you do if you were me? I would get over it. Let me tell you why. Okay, so you've been dating for a few months and you have all these good things to say. And the only issue you can find to complain about is that, so you knew that she had somebody else before you came along. The only issue is the timing. And you making a big deal out of the fact that it was some dude from a year ago versus some dude from 2 years ago. That matters that much to you. Do you see where I'm going with this? The fact that it was anybody at all is all you should be focusing on, and that she didn't go to the doctor. Now that's the part that would be spinning, making me spin my wheels. Take your nasty little bitch ass to the gyno and get your shit checked. Why did she not do that until after she already slept with you? And why did you not insist on it? You got your test results. Why didn't you insist on getting some from her? So you the older one here. You're supposed to be the more responsible one. You should have told her, well, before we get busy, let's, you get I got my results here. Why don't you go to the doctor and get your results, and let's exchange before we start doing intimate things here. But you didn't do that because you just want to tap that ass. You wasn't bothered about what might be growing up in here in that moment. That's all you thought about. Your little ass is nasty too. I mean, yeah, he worried about the body counts. I can't with these men. The stuff they focus on is just so stupid. It's so superficial and retarded. So, dude, what I'm telling you right now, you ask what would I do? I wouldn't do shit. I would just tell her in the future, take your little happy ass to the gyno and get yourself checked out between partners. Don't ever do shit like this again where you sleep with somebody new, then come run and tell them, oh, turns out I have something. That's disgusting behavior, irresponsible. Question number 17. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Caucasian from Chico, California. Some issue, excuse my rant, but, quote, go with the flow, end quote, people are the worst kinds of people to date. No, we're not. I beg to differ. She didn't lie about the STD. She lied about how long it had been since she had somebody. He never asked her if she had an STD. He asked her how many, when was her last relationship or when was the last time she slept with somebody, something along those lines, for it to get to this line of conversation, of questioning. It had to be one of those questions like that. He didn't ask about that. Had he asked about that, then he would have insisted that she go and get tested. He didn't worry about that. He just wanted to know how long it had been since she'd been tightened up. And so I'm like, that's what he's worried about. Well, then she lied. She said it was 2 years, but it turns out it was 1 year. And she had a fling. That's what he's worried about. But I don't know. If I liked the person, I wouldn't worry about it, but I would tell them, don't you do that shit again, or this shit's going to be over. But, it's 1 year, okay, 24 months, 12 months. What difference does it make? She was fucking, okay? You know that. So that's the bottom line. What difference does it make? How long ago it was? It's not going to change shit for you. So why do you even care? Okay, so she mad about the go with the flow people. You are not easygoing. You are just unaware that the other person is forced to make plans or nothing is ever done. I totally get going to things as they come up. And being spontaneous is fun. However, this is not something to expect all the time. Have some sort of plan. I'm not able to be spontaneous by booking up events on Facebook and then just going if I'm available. I still have to go look. My ex was that way, and I've talked to a few guys who have actually tried to put me down for planning vacations. I want to travel, but that takes time and money, so I plan when I'd like to go. If going in October versus August saves me $600, then I'm going in October. Of course, I'm still relaxed on vacation, but being able to do these things requires some sort of planning. I tend to also see it in bios. Let's just see where things go, end quote. Translates to, quote, I have no idea what I want and I'm comfortable wasting your time, end quote. I fully expect people, I'm going to come back to that because you're wrong. I fully respect people who are just upfront saying that they don't know what they want because not everyone does. That's okay. What's not is pretending that you're easygoing when you plan on doing as little work as humanly possible. I'm now getting off my soapbox. What do you think about my rant, Deb? I think you're doing too much and putting too much on it. First of all, you meet people on the swipey thing, they don't owe you shit. Okay, if they call you and say, well, let's do this and that, and you want to do it, then do it. If you don't want to do it, then don't. It's no big deal. You're not in a committed relationship with them. So what does it matter? And now let's go back to this part here, though. You say, somebody says, let's just see where it goes, translates to, I have no idea what I want and I'm comfortable wasting your time. They do know what they want. They know what they want. What they don't want is to be pushed and pressured into anything or making any premature commitments like you seem to want. You want people to just meet you off of a swipey thing and say, yes, I'm looking for a committed relationship. And there are men who will tell you that lie. But you know what they really mean? Let's just see where it goes. So somebody who tells you that is the door is open for some more to happen. The door is open for nothing to happen. That is reality. So no matter what somebody puts in their profile, every single person on there has the attitude, let's just see where it goes. Because you're not going to, nothing is spelled. And no, there's no promises being made, no contracts, No marriages, engagements, and all that kind of stuff is taking place on the Swavy thing. Every single thing that you meet, the person is an opportunity for something to happen if it works out between the two of you, or not if it doesn't. So what does that mean? It means let's just see where this goes. Okay, so I don't understand what you so in your panties is a bunch about it. I mean, you don't like the language? I don't care. The bottom line, no matter what they say, that's the reality of what's gonna happen when you start dating somebody. You're gonna see where the fuck it goes. And sometimes it's gonna swirl in and go down the toilet, and sometimes it's gonna, rise up into something great. You never know. Because either it can be either or. You girls kill me trying to pressure these dudes into a commitment. I'm going to go with the flow. You know why I go with the flow? Because I don't want them saying I promised them a goddamn thing. I didn't say I'm looking for nothing that you offering. I don't want you to be trying to run no game on me to tell me that you're looking for something I'm offering. I'm not looking for shit. I'm not promising you shit. I'm not going to commit to shit. And we just going to see what happens. I might like you for another hour or two and then decide I can't stand your guts. And in the meantime, I'm looking for a relationship. And he's going to run with that. What you said you were looking for a relationship. And then you're going to be stuck. Because you opened your big mouth and made a premature commitment. Deb don't commit to shit. As you can see, I can barely commit to a day to do my show. I have a thing about commitments. That's one thing. I mean, if I promise it, I'm pretty good about coming through. But other than that, I'm like, hey, that's why the person who said, let's do what the fuck whenever, my best friend, that person understands me. That's it. I'm going to go with the flow. And the flow is sometimes I feel like doing a show and sometimes I don't. And sometimes Candace feel like doing the column and I can't do the column without her. So if she don't feel like doing it, well, that pretty much means I can't feel like doing it either because there's nothing for me to do. Yes, the toilet. You know that swirl. I don't really, I'm spontaneous like that. And especially, now that my daughter's up out the house and grown and all that stuff, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, decide I want to go somewhere, jump in my car and start driving around the street. Going down to the burger joint and stuff to stay open. Nations. You know Nations, Diana? Nations be staying open until like 2 a.m. Yes, it will get you fat if you do it, but it's too often. But go in there, give me a burger and fries and be just Greek grubbing. Then I sit up there and watch TV and stuff. Eat in the bed if I want to. I mean, life is just lovely when you do what you want to do. So, yes, you just rant on, little girl. You just rant on. Question number 18. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. White European from the UK. Summary of issue. How do you show interest in people? I'm autistic, by the way. I'm still very nervous about showing specifically romantic/sexual interest in people. My default strategy is basically to try as hard as I possibly can to pretend like I'm not interested in them. What? What is that? How is that a strategy that's going to get you anything? I just don't even have any idea how to approach it. How do I show interest without coming off as creepy? I feel like if I look at someone for too long, I'm being creepy. Yes. I try to be nice and friendly to everyone I meet, and I'm working on being more sociable. But crossing the line into flirting just seems too much. Even then, what are you supposed to do? Look at them too hard or touch their arm and hope that they get it? How do you even do that naturally? I am naturally very, very oblivious. I only notice people showing interest when they're extremely obvious about it. And even then, so I always assume people wouldn't like me. Anyway, am I overthinking this? Help me, LOL. Yes, you are overthinking it. Oh my God, I have a headache. Dude, it's not that hard. So you see a girl, the girl's cute. You look at the girl, you smile at the girl. If the girl's interested in you, smile back. If she don't smile back, then just keep it moving. You go to a social network, you go, event, a little bar, some little event, something, and you see a girl and she's checking you out, and you smile at her and you wave at her or something, a little flirtatious. And then, you can sidle on over there and say, hi, my name is Roger. What's your name? And she's going to say, Susie. And you say, well, Susie, what brings you out this fabulous night? Are you enjoying it? Like if it's a game on, because, it's that time. It's a game on stuff. Who are you rooting for? Whatever she say, you're rooting for the opposite team. And stuff like that. She said, Sliver said, look into her left eye for 2 seconds, then smile and look away. She giving you timing and shit. You probably like that. You know it's not working for him. That's not this his little plan is not working. Otherwise, he wouldn't be writing in talking about how to show interest. But it's really not that hard. I mean, I don't understand why guys put all this on it. It's just, I mean, if you walk around with a pleasant look on your face and look, interested in a woman, that's like 99% of it. All this stuff you're talking about here is just, you're just stressing yourself out for nothing. It's not that hard. It's not that serious. What you might want to do, look in to see if they have any of them online classes about nonverbal communication. That I think is a good place to starting point for autistic people. I've recommended this several different times because it's a thing that you guys seem to struggle with is understanding cues. So look around, see if contact some autistic organization or something like that, and see if they have a course in that in nonverbal communication, so that you can take that course and start learning. They'll demonstrate stuff and they'll teach you what to look for and what certain things mean. And then when you go out into the real world, you'll know when you see these kind of things happen what that means, and then you'll be able to better tell with more confidence that this person is showing interest, this person is stressed out, this person is mad. You'll get like some cues that you can follow and kind of start understanding people's expressions and body languages. So start with that. I think that'll be the key to going to take you over this hump that you in. Yeah, and don't smell funky. That is important, huh? Question number 19. Male, 22 to 27. He's black, from Austin, Texas. Summer issue. Why would you date somebody who doesn't care about your feelings? This question is general, but what made me ask this was about a few posts and comments I've seen on social media about men having issues being vulnerable to their girlfriends and wives. One of them was about a guy asking advice about how when he shared some trauma with his girlfriend and she didn't console him at all and he got upset. Most comments from men and women were pretty much about how he shouldn't have expected her to console him and that he did something wrong by sharing it. My question is, if you can't share these deep moments with someone, then why date them at all? Relationships require a lot of work, like time, energy, money, and sacrifices to keep your partner happy. How are you going to do all that for someone if you don't share basic human emotions with them? Personally, I am very open. I'm very open with my girlfriend, and she is very open to me. And I feel like it has only made us closer. If I shared some feelings of insecurity or anxiety, and she dismissed me or told me or treated me differently afterwards, I would probably break up right away, because at that point, why even be in a relationship? Now, I know someone in the chat is going to say, that's y'all, well, that is just how women are. They don't like emotional men, which is a different issue. But then just say that, stay single then. If all women were lesbians, would you start taking estrogen and transition so they would be attractive to you? Clearly, some woman must be able to have empathy for their partner. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something in my relationship is just one out of a million, but I don't see the point in a long-term committed relationship if you can't share that deep emotional connection. What do you think? I think that, you better be happy with the person that you got and want to listen to your deep emotional connection. Because at some point, when you, especially, it depends on the length of the relationship and how close you are. So you don't say how long you this person with these people that's posting all this stuff online, and the guy was seeking advice about how he shared some trauma with his girlfriend and she didn't console him. What the fuck is she supposed to console him about if it already happened? It's in the past. Let's be realistic. But you just want her to, like, try to have a pity party about the shit. Doesn't nobody trying to hear all that. That's why I tell women the same thing. Don't go into a relationship dumping all your traumas and past on people, expecting them to react in a certain way to make you feel better. That's some shit you should have worked out with your shrink long ago. That's not something to bring into a relationship and expect your new partner to do anything about your past traumas. Okay, that's a shrink's job, and the responsibility for that is for you to take care of that is on you. So nobody wants to hear that. I mean, I don't understand what it is that these men be thinking. He shared some trauma, and I wish I had seen that post because I would have lit his ass up. You shared some trauma. What you do that for? You obviously had an agenda. There was something that you wanted. You were looking for something, and then you didn't get it. So now you mad, and you're gonna write complain about it on the internet like a little bitch. You should have taken care of that shit on the internet. I mean, at the shrink's office, not on the internet. And it's nice that you saying you feel anxiety and all this kind of stuff, and you want feeling insecure, I don't want to hear that. And I would tell a man that I don't want to hear it. For one thing, if you feeling insecure, you're going to work that out on your own. A man who feels insecure and has a lot of anxiety is not the man for me, so that would never work. Because you can't whine to me about some bullshit, I would cuss your ass out. And so it would be like, you don't see me doing whining around and being all anxious and insecure. What the fuck I want a man in my face doing that shit for? I'm a woman. If I don't do it, you best not do it. Okay, because that's not gonna work. So it's gonna depend on the kind of woman that you have. If you had a kind that likes to play mama and butter you up and cuddle you up and pat your head and hands and stuff, then you probably could do that. I'm not that woman. If I have all the strength to carry on and persevere myself, I don't need a man who's gonna become whining to me and crying about his past traumas and his anxiety and his insecurities, because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Fun fact, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not trying to hear that. And it's like it will make me lose respect. You better tell your shrink, tell your mama, somebody who might be sympathetic. It's not going to be me. I don't ever want a man to be around me acting like he's insecure. Even if you feel it, you better hide it and do something about it. Don't tell me, oh, I feel insecure. I'm having anxiety. Hey, I'm scared. Oh my God, my respect level for you will go underground. I can't do it. So you writing me telling me, about why being in a relationship, it depends on the person. Some people, like I said, need that babying and some don't. So, you have to find a partner that is on your same page and has got the same needs and expresses them the same way that you do. And then everything's all gravy. You guys like all that whining and shit. So you found a woman who wants to listen to it. Good for you. A round of applause. I'll tell your mama. Your mama be liking to hear that stuff. Oh, my baby. Shit. Question number 20. Male, 22 to 27. He's black, from Charleston, South Carolina. Summary issue. Experiences on dating unemployed men. I'm 26, male and straight. I'm not working, nor am I seeking work. The reason being, I'm in an intense post-grad college degree program, which I'm very interested in, but really feel as though I'd be stretching myself thin and risk failing units, which would delay my graduation by a year or more. In less than 2 years, I'll have finished, and my financial prospects / career will be solid after that. Until then, the inevitable question of what do you do comes up, and I don't work, I'm a student, obviously isn't the optimal response to hear on a date. I'd like to experience dating before I finish. 2 years isn't massively long, but it's a while away. What are your and the squad's thoughts on dating under similar circumstances? Are there circumstances off-putting or a deal breaker for you? Thanks. Yes. Instead of worrying about getting your wee-wee wet, why don't you double down on your classes and get out of school in a year and a half, a year? Take extra courses and get out of there faster. Why don't you do that? Okay? That's what you should do. Because you sitting up here talking about, well, basically what you're doing, this is straight out of Steve Harvey's book, where he talked about, because I ripped that book to shreds. It's a video on this channel where I ripped through that book line by line and ripped that shit to shreds because it's bullshit. But in his book, he talked about how men really won't give a woman anything relationship-wise until they need her. They need something from her. While they're on their grind, they're just looking for her to be a placeholder, to provide them with comfort, which is, attention and nook. That's what they're looking for you to do. And that's what he admits right here. He doesn't really have time for a relationship. He just wants to, quote, date. And what does that mean? Fuck. That's what that means. So any woman, sir, that understands, can read between the lines, is not going to mess with you. Because she wants something deeper and more important than just to roll around at your fucking convenience between classes. That's basically what you asked for. Well, I would like to date. No, motherfucker, you don't. You don't get to date. You chose a path that was to your benefit, just like Steve already said. The men do what's good for them, and the woman is just put on hold until he finishes doing what he wants to do. So, ladies, understand that. Don't let yourself be some man's placeholder and bed warmer while he fucking around doing what the hell he wants to do for his life. Everything he's talking about is to better himself, make himself more money, make himself more educated. It's nothing in there. Nothing that he's doing is anything that's going to benefit a woman in a relationship. I want to make that very clear. Nothing that he's doing is he has nothing to offer a woman in a relationship, not even that much time. So what would she be dating him for? just so he could get some pussy. So he could get. She's not going to get shit out of it because he's going to have to jump up and go to class, and jump up and do his project, jump up and write his thesis. He's going to have a reason why he can't be around and not offer anything. So fuck, basically, sir, fuck you very much. You ain't going to get shit. Like I said, accelerate your learning program and get your ass out of school so you have something to offer somebody, like at least some time. Question number 21. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's white and European in the UK. Some of the issue. Girl that likes me says that she's not ready for a relationship. I've been talking to this girl for about a month one day, and one day she told me that she liked me for a year. We decided to hang out at the mall together, but after hanging out, it looked like she was keeping her distance from me. The girl that texted me almost every day and responded to my text instantly suddenly started to leave me on delivered for hours or even more. So I asked her if this wasn't going to work out, and she responded that she still liked me, but she wasn't ready for a relationship yet. Should I just move on? Yes. Because so everything was cool until you hung out in person. So something happened on that date. You did or said something that made her feel some kind of way about you that's not favorable. Now, you didn't go into any details, so I don't know. I don't even want to guess. But whatever happened, something happened that basically you tore your drawers on that date. Were you too touchy? Too pushy? Did you start acting like you was a boyfriend? Did you make comments about, long term or something that kind of made her feel pressed? Were you gross? What did you do? What did you say? Think that over. Go over the date play by play, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. But there's something that happened on your date when you guys finally got together that turned her off, and so now she's not as interested in you as she was. So yeah, you're gonna move on. But you might want to talk to her first to find out what you did and see if she'll tell you. If not, then just move on. Because she liked you. You didn't like her. So it's not really like you lost anything anyway. Question number 22. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue. Relationship / nook with a girl with Down syndrome. Oh, this ought to be interesting. I saw a movie about that one time. Who played in that movie? I don't remember. But she played they got married and stuff, I think. I'm 26 and I recently met a girl. They was both like with Down syndrome though. I'm 26 and recently met a girl who was 21 with Down syndrome. I actually met her through her mom. I was her nurse while she was staying in the hospital for 2 weeks. The daughter would come in, and I admit my own prejudices. I didn't really find her attractive. But we began talking and getting to know each other in the hospital, and I have to say I started to really like her. She's witty, funny, smart, and I find her very cute. Her mother would say that she talked about me a lot on the days I wasn't working, and her dad would ask the doctor, does he know when I would next be in the hospital? One day, her mother said to me that she believes her daughter has grown quite fond of me, and she wouldn't be against me taking her out for lunch. So I did that day, and we hit it off very well. She's very self-aware of the fact that she has Down syndrome, and she makes jokes about it, and she's very cheeky. She said, what they say, you haven't lived until you've been to bed with the Down syndrome girl. Oh, she's trying to get her swerve on. Nobody says that actually, end quote, which almost made me spit out my food. Since then, we've been on 3 dates with her parents present. They hang out at a distance just to observe, which I didn't mind. I understand their protectiveness. At the end of the 3rd date, we shared a 2 to 3 second kiss on the lips, and she went all red, which was so cute, and her parents seemed genuinely happy for her. I feel like this is actually going somewhere. I've grown to really like her, and after chatting with her mother, they said they trust me enough to have a date with her alone and, quote, whatever that entails. She's a grown woman. We talk a lot, and I know she wants certain things without getting into too much detail, end quote. Oh, so her mother's down with her getting her swerve on. This is interesting. This comes to the point of this letter. I told multiple close friends and family about what has been going on, and the reactions haven't been great. They range from eyebrow raising at best to downright saying I'm taking advantage of her. One of my friends said having nook with her would be pretty much assault. All of this has left me a little distraught and heartbroken, and made me feel like some kind of monster. She is a flirtatious girl and has hinted heavily that she wants to have nook soon, and I know she wants a relationship, and I do too. Deb, is this morally okay? Absolutely. And first of all, let's have one lesson that you need right now. Obviously, you haven't had many relationships. Don't talk about your relationship. Okay, all the conversation about this relationship ends now. You're not going to talk to it about your friends. You're not going to talk about anything to your parents. If you have to talk about the relationship, you talk to her parents. Are you feeling me? Are you writing me another letter? Don't you say shit to them people saying those awful things about you. She's a grown woman. Her parents, she's perfectly capable of having an intelligent conversation, making decisions for herself. She just has Down syndrome. There are actors that have Down syndrome. There are people working all in society that have Down syndrome. There's different levels of it. But just because they have it doesn't mean that they're incapable. It doesn't mean that they can't make decisions and do things and fall in love and get married and have all the same emotions and desires as anybody else. It doesn't mean any of that. So what you have to do is start to respect her more, is respect your relationship. Keep your fucking mouth closed. Don't be going around talking about, yeah, my girlfriend has Down syndrome. When people see her, they'll know that. You don't need to broadcast it. And you don't need anybody's approval. That is the first step to being a grown man. You stand alone. You turn your back to the crowd and you walk forward in the direction that you want to walk in. Stop with this. If you can't handle your friends, you're not going to be able to handle nothing else in society either. So if that's really the way you feel, then just stop now. If you feel like, you listening to me and you think about this and you did, yeah, I'm willing to do that because I really like this girl and I haven't met anybody that I like this much in years, if ever. Her parents are great. She's great. I want to see where this goes. And she wants to see where it goes with me. Then you hold her hand and you move forward and you just ignore all these motherfuckers that you went telling your business to. It's not like that. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, they not know that, there's a lot people that have Down syndrome. Some of them are extremely high functioning. They're very, smart. There's no reason for you to think the way that they're thinking. They're very ableist. Their mentality is very odd. So you just leave them out of your relationship. Don't say nothing else to them about it. That's going to be the main number one thing that you have to do from here on. You're not going to tell them anything. Okay? So, I'm thinking if for you want to try to do some nook things, y'all take her away for the weekend or something like that. Make it exciting. Make it romantic for her. There's stuff that you've probably already done, but she's never done it before. So take her on some weekend somewhere romantic, and then y'all, will be private and you can get busy with her there. Find out what she likes. Does she like beach or does she like mountains? Find out which one is, because it's two different personalities. Find out which one she wants. It's summertime. You can make a reservation in some mountains somewhere. Y'all can pick blueberries and whatnot and do all, watch the butterfly. I don't know what people do in the country. Do all that kind of stuff. And then bring her little ass back home. Okay? And she'll be happy. You'll be happy. Don't be running your mouth to your friends anymore. One day men will learn to shut up. I don't know why they don't learn to shut up earlier. Question number 23. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's black from Vacaville, California. Some have issue. Do girls find it weird if a guy doesn't use social media? I deleted all my social media accounts a few years ago and I haven't looked back. However, a couple of times when I've been talking to a girl and she wants to stay in contact, they'll recommend social media and then I tell them that I don't use it. They always seem reluctant to stay in contact after that and don't really seem keen on trading numbers instead. We typically just go our separate ways and never see each other again. What is going on? You dealing with these little crazy girls that they think life is on the internet. We talked about this earlier in the show. There's a whole segment of your generation, these Gen Z people, their whole world is what's on the internet. They think that's reality. And if you don't have social media, then they feel like, you're not a real person yet, Pinocchio. So it's like, it just shows you their mentality. It's like they're not ready for a guy like you who's decisive and who knows he wants a real life offline away from social media. What they also might be thinking about, because this also happens too, players tend to not be on social media. That might be why they're scared. So instead of just saying that you don't have social media, you should go into more of an explanation, like, I close my social media accounts because da 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 da. But just saying I don't have it, that's not really saying much. So you need to explain why you closed them, which you didn't even really say here, but explain to them why you closed them and how your life has improved because of it. So prepare a spiel, like what they call an elevator pitch, 15 seconds where you're going to break that down for them and say, I'd rather spend my time with my woman in the real world and having real conversations, face to face or whatever, that I would prefer to do that. So I've made it a point to, move that distraction from my life. But as I was saying, a lot of times the players don't have social media because they don't want people to be able to track them and track who their friends are and all this kind of stuff. So they don't have players ain't on social media. None of them. They just not on there. And so a woman might think that and be uncomfortable thinking that's that you're a player. So that's why I say it's really going to be necessary to prepare your elevator pitch and explain to them why you made that decision, and you have to put it in a way that's going to make it sound like if they have a relationship with you, all your attention is going to be on them, not on what's on Instagram. You're not going to be like your Instagram models and other people's posts and looking at girls online. You're going to be in her face, and that's what you have to flip it so that she says, "Oh yeah, that is better." She has to see the benefit of it. You just saying, "Well, I'm not on social media." That's just like the woman saying, "Well, I'm uncomfortable." You don't say shit. Don't mean nothing. Okay. Question number 24. We're almost at the end of this torture. Oh my God, this is taking forever today. Oh, my side stories. This is a young man, 35 to 41, age group. He's Caucasian. Summary of issue. My female friend stopped talking to me because I bought a house. I had a female friend who's 40 that stopped talking to me recently because I bought a house. I'm 36, by the way. She wanted to go on a vacation, but I explained that I couldn't because I have to be around to take care of the new construction and attend certain meetings for it. I also couldn't afford it because I put a big down payment on the house. She ended up telling me bluntly that the house was, quote, disgusting. Wow. And that she'd never live in it and in this state. And she also ended up telling me that if she did live with me in this new house, that she'd burn it down with me in it. I don't want to sour our friendship. It's already sour, dude. She talking about burning down every brand new house with you in it. And I would still like to talk to her. No, you're not. No, you're not going to do that. How do I go about doing it? You're not. I'm not even going to tell you nothing because you're not going to be that stupid. It's a delicate matter. I just needed a place to live since I moved out of my parents' house to a new state and I got a new job. Thanks. You're going to leave that crazy ass bitch alone. Who says stuff like that? And why would you think that somebody said some cruel, unusual, and mentally ill stuff like that to you that you should still try to be in a relationship with them? Were you abused as a child or something? Is this like a normal thing that you used to people talking to you crazy and threatening your life and stuff, and you just want to just run around after them like a puppy? Dude, you're not going to deal with her or nobody else who talks to you crazy like that and threaten to end your life and burn down your investment because she mad. The bitch is crazy. Yeah, that's not normal to say stuff like that. She knows where he lives. I don't know if she knows where the house is being built or not. She might, probably does, but he didn't say that, so I don't know. Yeah, but that's not normal behavior. Question number 25. This is our last one. This young lady is in the 22 to 27 age group. She's mixed race from Dallas, Texas. Summary of issue. Every man in my life has shown me what type of man I don't want to date. I'm just venting, Dad, but I would like to get your and the squad's thoughts. I'm 26 now, but have never dated or been in a relationship or anything. But I know 100% what kind of man I do and do not want, and it's solely based on the men that have been in my life. The first one and the most important one, I don't want a man that's dependent on me to survive or function in the world. My boss is a prime example of that. He needs me to try to be by his side to answer questions he only has an answer to because they're personal questions. But he claims to say that I do need to be there because he doesn't know what to do. What is he like, got Asperger's or something? What's going on with Home Skillet? I'm like, how the heck have you made it this far in life? How the heck do you even have a PhD? Yet you can't do simple tasks on your own? He needs me to tell him his own son's personal information instead of asking his son who lives with him. Another example, my stepdad can't even serve himself food. It has to call my mom for everything because he doesn't know where anything is and what to do about anything that's not his personal interest. Another thing I don't like is having my time wasted. None of the men in my life take into consideration my time. They always want to do things with me, but then when the time comes, they do other things and are late or aren't giving me the attention I deserve, and that was mine to begin with because that time was reserved for me, not for someone else, while I'm just sitting there waiting for you to pay attention to me. Why don't you get up and walk the fuck off? Why are you just still sitting there? I'm thankful for the men in my life, don't get me wrong, because at least I learned what I don't want in a partner and how I don't want to be treated in a relationship. Well, that's good. So I thank them for that. But what do you think? I think that I like your maturity level about it and your analysis. It's very realistic. It shows great insight into their behavior, and it shows great insight into yours, even though you're young, haven't been in a relationship. What you have to realize, though, a lot of times is that, yeah, I was just ready to say that. I just looked down and saw they call it weaponized incompetence. And basically, what it is these men are choosing to act like they don't know anything and can't do anything by themselves because it's lazy. It's laziness. And they get to, like, have you do all the work and take all the responsibility for their life. At least with your boss, you're getting paid for it. But like your mother, I don't know what her problem is. I would tell them, well, starve then, motherfucker. I don't care what you do. Better, go to McDonald's or DoorDash it, whatever you're going to make the magic happen. Don't worry me about your stuff. I remember, because the first time we was just dating then. And he came over, and where were we going? We were going to go out or something. I don't know. And anyway, he bought like a collection of, clothes over it. And he's like laid them out on my bed. And he's like, what should I wear? And I remember looking at him. Now, keep in mind, he was like 9 years older than me and had been married before. So I'm looking at him like, huh? And he's like, well, what should I wear? I said, okay, let's get this straight right now. How were you getting yourself ready for all these other events that you've been going to all these years before I came along? And he just sat there and looked at me. So you're not going to pick up my clothes? I said, I will never pick out your clothes. And he said, oh. And so he picked out his clothes. But then I did a couple of times, but I wanted him to look a certain way. Not only did I pick out his clothes, I went and bought him what I wanted him to wear, like some events at my job and stuff. Oh, no, you're going to wear this and this and this and here. So he was like, okay, I did. But I don't want him depending on me for that. If I did it, I wanted it because I wanted to do it. I don't want to do it because he wants me to do it. You see the difference? I will do it intermittently at will, but it's not gonna be my responsibility to pick your clothes out every day and tell you what to wear. I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Yeah, it's bad enough when you have to cook dinner and you're cooking for the whole family. It's like, you motherfuckers need to eat a TV dinner or something. Do they still sell those? When I was a kid, they used to sell TV dinner. We used to like those nasty things. Swanson's. The Salisbury steak. My brother would eat 2 of them. And then they used to have something called Big Man Salisbury, Big Man frozen dinner. So then my mother started buying those because my teenage brothers would eat 2 of those. They just was just hungry all the time. But yes, the oodles of noodles, girl, whatever, them cup noodles, that works too. So anyway, that's the show for tonight. We will be back next Tuesday. Okay, so we're going to be back to, we have What the Fuck Wednesday this week. We're going to have What the Fuck Tuesday next week. And then I'll be gone for 2 weeks. And be back, like the end of May, after the holiday. I'll be back after the holiday. And we'll be back to whatever, what the fuck, whatever, because I don't know what I'm going to feel like after all of this. It might be Wednesday, might be Friday, might be Saturday. We don't really know. But just make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you'll get the notification when it's scheduled. And then just, shut up, not Tang. Oh my God, that stuff was so nasty. But yes, you guys have a good weekend, a good week till I see you again. All right.